It's Evelyn with Magellan College Counseling, and I'm here today with our visual and performing arts specialist, Donna White. Whenever a parent calls me and says, my child is interested in dance, my child is interested in film, I say, Donna, you're going to talk to Donna. So I wanted you, the audience, to get a little feel for what Donna's like and what working with her is like. So thank you for joining me, Donna. So tell me a little bit about how you got into college counseling and what you do in the rest of your career.
Well, I am a coordinator at a school for LUSD during the day. I got into college counseling by meeting Evelyn. One of my kids that I tutored and have been working with since elementary, he was up in high school, was going to have a session with a bunch of our parents and Evelyn and their children to find out about college counseling and Magellan College Counseling Company. So what happened was Evelyn approached me and said, because I was throwing a lot of questions at her, she asked me, you ever think about doing this for a living? And I went, no, I'm a teacher, that's it. And she asked me to take one class from UCLA. Tell me if you like it. If you like it, continue. And I loved it. And now it's been, 5 years, Evelyn, I've been a college counselor with you.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how I fell in love with it.
And tell us why you love working with artists. Tell us like where you got your experience in that and why that population is just so special to you.
Well, my daughter is an artist. She is a fine art major and she went to school up north. And I fell in love with the arts after, helping her get through college, but talking to her friends and meeting the kids in college and picking their brains about their creative side and how they became who they were and what they were doing with their art. And it's just a love and a passion that I've stayed with. Like I said, I have a daughter who's an artist. She's my artist. So that's how I started.
And how, okay, so a couple questions. Number one, a lot of parents worry that you can't really make a living as an artist. And I wanted to get your reaction to that. And then the second part of the question is, how is the application, how is what we call the college search and application process different for visual and performing artists?
Okay, the first question about starving artists. My daughter jokes about that all the time. I'm a starving artist, Mom. I go, well, you're not really, you're okay. If a child has a vision and has the, I always say it's the umph to go and get it. Yeah. They'll be successful. There's a lot of companies out there, Disney, Pixar, EA, you could go into the gaming industry with it. New York is always looking for productions, of people dancing. I just went to see Hamilton. There was a great group of young people that was in Hamilton. Yeah. So, it is scary. As a parent, I was scared to death that she would not be successful, but she's been pretty successful. I mean, she's newly starting out in it. And actually, she's thinking now, after becoming a fine art major, to doing art therapy with children. She decided she loved children and art therapy was it. Yeah. So
love that. That's great. Oh, okay. And then the second part is how is their application process and their search overall different?
Their search is a little different because there's two types of school. There's your regular schools, your regular colleges like UCLA, USD, different colleges, regular colleges, four-year colleges. But there's also the colleges like Cal Arts, CCA, Rhode Island School of Design. They are very, very specific in what they're teaching. Yeah. Whether it's film, whether it's art, whether it's theater, whether it's singing, whether it's music, they are very, very fine-tuned to what they were doing. Yeah. They also don't do a lot of the hoorah. They're not like, if you're looking for sports, then, the small art school is not the school you're looking for. You're looking for more of a traditional four-year college. Yep. But if you want just and I have kids who I've been dealing with for the past 5 years, some want the hoorah, some don't want the hoorah.
Right. And the good news is you don't have to make that decision at the beginning, right? You can apply to both and see where you get in and make the decision at the very end.
Absolutely. And I always encourage my kids to, once they get into these colleges, to go visit them and to stand on the land, because once you stand there and you see what's going on, you talk to other students, you might find that, oh yeah, I do want the traditional schooling, and we're going to go to, we're going to do other things besides just art, or no,
Right.
I just want to do filmmaking, and this is the art school that I want to go to.
Yep.
So I always encourage my kids to go and to really get the lay of the land and feel the land and
Yep.
see how it really is for them.
Yep. What's the fun part of what you do? What do you love about working with the visual and performing artists that you work with?
My favorite and most passionate part is getting to see their artwork and their creativity, and finding where their creativity comes from. I've gone to plays that my kids have put on. I just went to see one. She was Mrs. Potts. It was amazing. So I like to see what they're doing, to find out where their creativity comes from, to see where their creativity is going to go. I watched two of my film students this year, and they both had different films, but they were amazing, and they were so different. And one had me on my seat like this, and the other one had me here. I mean, it's awesome to get to know them and what makes them creative and their creativity building.
And so what do you do to support them through the whole process? Obviously, it depends on when they start working with you, but give me the special Donna. Why do they love you so much?
I'm pretty upfront and honest with them. I tell them this is not an easy application. The regular applications, they're usually just the essays and what school we're going to go to, and we're going to make out our essays. This is a little different because the art students have to do either they have to give videos if they're dancing, and the schools will give you an idea of what they want. They'll want a monologue from somewhere. Maybe a Shakespearean monologue that you have to come up with. And so you have to my artists have to put in a lot of work. If you're a fine art major, they're asking for 10 to 20 pieces. And they'll be specific on that also. My other ones are, let's see, filming. They've had to give in films to these schools, and they check them out. So they have a lot. So what I do is I make sure they're on track. I keep a date on them all the time. I'm always looking, and I'm texting them, how's your film coming along? Are you going to be having it ready by the 5th, So
so you're keeping them on track, because there's a lot of balls up in the air if you're a
lot. And so, that's one of the things that I do is I will text them a lot to make sure that they're on task.
Yep. And your students have gotten amazing results just this year. They've gotten into, give me some names.
Oh, I got into Emerson. We got into Cooper Union. We got into USD. And what was the other one? Oh, NYU.
We did get into NYU. Yep.
But it's so funny because people were like, oh, congratulations, your kids got in. You did a good job. I go, no. My kids get in because they are talented. Absolutely talented. And they work hard to get into these great colleges, and they've been very successful at it.
Yep. When people thank me and say, oh, that's so great, you got so-and-so into, I say, I didn't get them in. They got themselves in, and I stood next to them.
Absolutely. We're just there. I always say I'm along for the ride. Let's go. We're going to get in.
Yep. We're going to get in. That's great. Yep. That's great. Well, I think this has been really helpful. We just want to give people a sense of your personality as they're deciding whether or not to work with us. So this has been really helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Evelyn. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.